trying to get to a point now in the discourse where we can have a sober and judicious, mature discussion. Because a lot of the discussion on both sides, to tell you the truth, has been somewhat immature. And I think, at what point do we have a mature discussion?
Right, and like when you say that, you have it balanced. You have a lot of sisters tuning in, and I want to get to that about, that's what the topic of today is. You have a lot of women who tune in, and I mean, have you noticed that a lot of women do join in the discussion, or at least support?
Yeah.
No doubt. Okay, family, so y'all know I'm here going to provide my commentary. This Obsidian and Sister Napah, here's her page. I've been following her for about 6 months now. Been following Obsidian for about 2 years. Following Black Manosphere for 3 in its entirety. So I'm well versed, and I am red pill, as y'all know. So, and I consider myself, and I can prove I consider myself damn near a scientist when it comes to American, particularly Black American female nature, the current Black female in America. I got it down to a science. So I'm going to provide my commentary. Much respect to Obsidian. Much respect to Sister Napah.
That's one of the big strengths of the Black Manosphere. As I've said before, Black women have enjoyed, Black women as a group, have enjoyed a multi-decades-long media advocacy. And in particular, what I refer to, I'm working on several books, as a matter of fact, dating and baby books. And I've been doing a lot of research into this. I call it the Black love machine. Steve Harvey and that sort of thing. There are a lot of people, mainly Black men, who cater to the interests and fears and desires and hopes of Black women along, mating lines. And it's been really interesting to witness. It's been very interesting to witness, and it raises a lot of questions. And it's been something I've been working on for quite a while.
Right. So I mean, would you say most of the sisters who support are sincere about the support that they give? What I'm saying is, with the understanding that the Black Manosphere has men as priority, and somehow you've taken the red pill, right? So it's figurative. I'm not saying literally took a red pill, obviously. That's just some of the lingo. So you took the red pill, blinded her off, she can't run game on you. But do you think that some of these women still might be in their old elements and still might be in their old ways when...
Of course. And any red pill man, a true red pill man, like I said, a true red pill man knows female nature. So, in reference to the Black women who are participating in the Manosphere online, having Manosphere discussions, we know what their motive is majority of the time. Not to say they're not genuine as far as wanting to see better male and female relationships in our community, but, aside from that, a lot of these women have hit the wall. They're 40, 50, 3, 4, multiple kids, maybe out of wedlock, maybe not, but, they're not really as desirable as they was when they was younger. And they was, riding the carousel. So, but they're still women, so they still need male attention. So, and that's never going to change. So, that's the majority of the reason why they did.
Do you see so many of them on there supporting? Do you think that they might have ulterior motives?
Of course.
So that's one digging into the broken token thing. But what is your take on that?
Well, first of all, let me say this: that one of the great strengths of the black manosphere is the fact that this is where the guys are, and women are going to go wherever guys are. So, and the reason why I mentioned the Black Love Machine and Steve Harvey and all those people, the guys aren't over it. With these, black love experts at up until this point. They get the women, but no men are there. And the vast majority of the black women want black men. I think that's what the black manosphere has proven is that black women want black men and black men want black women. For all of the Sturmumdrag, I guess you could say, with regard to, divesting and swirling, SYSBN, and all of that. And there is some truth to all of that. There is, empirically. But if we're going to acknowledge the empirical truth of those things, then we also have to acknowledge the empirical fact that the vast majority of black men and black women want each other. I think the problem is, again, that neither side is willing to be vulnerable about that and admit it. So we have all this, posturing going back and forth. So
the very fact that we having these conversations openly is evidence that obviously black men want black women and vice versa. The problem is, number one, there's not a lot of black women online in the United States of America having an honest discussion on the situation that we're in as far as relationships. It's not a lot of black women having an honest discussion. It's a lot of black women having childlike banter and no accountability talk, and they are the majority. But as far as black women really having an honest discussion, no. And that's one of the major problems, because nobody's forcing them to have an honest discussion.
Well, yeah, your point about black women coming into the black manosphere space is definitely a very real one. And as far as their motives, hard to say. It's hard to say what black women's motives are. I would have to take that on a case-by-case basis. Now, is it possible that there are black women coming around, black manosphere spaces that have ulterior motives? Sure. Is that possible? Sure. I just don't know for certain, I don't know with certainty who they would be. Again, I would have to look at that on a case-by-case basis.
Right. So, with that said, that's an honest answer. So, let me do a little of my analysis as a woman. And just what I've observed. Not just in the manosphere, by the way. The title is about broken tokens. So we're not just focusing or so-called attacking the manosphere. I'm also talking about channels that are known for speaking very disparagingly about women, certain groups, such as the Hebrew Israelites, that speak very badly about women. And there are certain women who they go on those channels and they may sit in support, and what they do is they're a token. Like, how the white person might speak racist things about blacks, and then they can always use their token white black friend and say, but I love this guy, or I love this girl, this woman. So this is why I call them broken tokens, because they're always there representing, like, oh yeah, here I am, I'm in the chat, and he loves me. So it gives a lot of, not saying you, Obsidian, because you clearly made clear that you're not being a misogynist. And I haven't seen you be a misogynist. Now I'm talking about misogyny and men who bash women and really just have this agenda against women. These women represent, or they try to represent all women, and they might be like 2 or 3, and in some cases, I'm not going to really right off the bat speak about the brother, because he's not here, but in some cases, a large amount of women facilitate, dare I say, the exploitation of women, and they facilitate, I'm not going to say bashing, but they facilitate the degradation of women.
Let me say this. The majority of women, black women in America, they proactively make an effort to be over-sexualized, to be hypersexual. They don't take accountability for nothing. Literally, nothing. The majority of them. So, all of those are seeds for that's psychosis. That's why the majority of black American women have damn near every pathology on the books. Almost everyone. Narcissism, cognitive dissonance, bipolar disorder, anxiety, depression, multiple personalities. They exhibit almost every pathology on the books. So they're going to do things, as you can see in their behavior. Not all of them, majority of them. As you can see in their behavior, it's just ass backwards. They will do damn near anything. And they will attempt to justify anything. When it makes no sense. And this is pretty much what the sister's describing.
Maybe. And they sit there and allow themselves to be picked apart, and they do it because women want approval from men, and women are hypergamous, and usually these men have, in the women's eyes, some type of power. And I'm going to hand it back over to you. If you don't agree, that's fine. We're just dialoguing on it. Yeah. But these women, what they do is they'll be present. So when sisters come along and may have a clear case that, oh, look, you're not really being fair to women, or you're treating women a certain way. The women that bring it to the table to say, I don't like what you say, I find that it's misogynistic, or I find that it's you're degrading women, you're objectifying women. What happens is those broken tokens are always there to be lifted up and put under them. Like, no, look, we've got these women here, so obviously they love us, and we get along with them. It's you're a feminist, or you just hate men to be empowered. So I take issue with sisters, women, especially black women, who allow themselves to be used as a token because of their desperate need to be chosen. And I'll say this, Obsidian. Even when
I have to say this. Much respect to Sister Napah, but I already know where she's going with this. This is a typical strategy of a lot of black women online who do not want to take accountability for shit. See, the women that she's describing are basically black women online who are calling black female dysfunction out. Openly calling it out. Like, openly saying that being ran through is some stupid shit. Psychological suicide. You'll never be a wife. You will never have any value by opening your legs for every man. And you a dumbass broad. And there's a contingency of black women who don't like that, obviously, because they want to continue to be ran through. So they're going to label these women broken tokens, pick-me's, whatever, to try to, shame them. But it's not going to work. Because everybody sees the results of the shit that black women are doing in America. Not all, but majority. Everybody sees the results. So you can run around here and try to do whatever, to shame people for holding you accountable. You know, you hold black women accountable, and they say you bashing them. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to take accountability for shit. They want to SUCK and FUCK everybody that they like, and they don't want no consequences behind the shit, which is dumb. But that's what they want to do. So again, none of that shit is going to work because everybody sees the results. 75% single motherhood rate. That's a fucking disaster. Okay? Over 50% STD rate in the black community in America. That's a fucking disaster. Nobody's going to ignore that just because y'all don't want y'all feelings hurt. Fuck.
And clearly say, now I'm talking about the manosphere specifically. These men will say, you're overweight, you hit the wall, no one wants you, you have 2 baby daddies.
Real shit. And I'm nothing against plus size sisters, but what do they say the overweight, the rate of overweight black women in America is? Like it's 60, 70%? I mean, come on now.
Like the men are saying, you're out. Nobody wants you. They still come. And it's like they still want so badly to get the approval. I mean, talk to me about what I've said. I've said a lot, but touch on that.
Well, that's just psychology.
Yeah, it's Stockholm syndrome, so to speak.
Yeah, that's just psychology. A lot of it's not just with regard to black women. This is like
that's women
thing, but with regard to black women in particular, yeah, you can be pretty rough with them, and they'll keep coming back.
Right? Why?
Well, in some psychological.
I know, Bob, but I'm gonna let it go. I know exactly why.
It could be said that guys who are so brusque, or guys who are so willing to be like that,
let me just go ahead and say it. Majority of American black women, millennials, Gen X millennials, and Gen Z are perpetual children. They're grown children. That's really what it is. If you look at their behavior, it's almost the exact behavior of a child. They'll do something that is obviously counterproductive, dysfunctional. And if they get critiqued or God forbid punished for it, they're going to throw a tantrum, they'll throw a fit, cry, get angry. Or they'll lie their way out, they'll try to lie to get out of it. And they'll repeat it over and over again unless you enact consequences on them to the point where their behavior stops. But if you let them, they'll do the shit until perpetuity. And that's what America has black men in a situation where we have no checks and balances and no way to hold our women responsible for shit. So basically, majority of black women in America are running around doing whatever the fuck they want, no matter the consequences. And only thing we can do is speak out. We can't do nothing to them, because if we do something to them for having sex with 100 men, lying to their husbands, sleeping with their boyfriend's family member, having a baby by another dude, but then lying about and all of this evil shit. If we do something to them, they're gonna lock our ass up. So and that's the situation.
They communicate to women that they have a lot of options among women. In other words, the guy that doesn't have a lot of options with women is not going to treat a woman like that. She may walk off, but then he'll just be messed up to go So, but no option. So the guy that has options, you know, he can have a devil may care attitude. And it's very attractive psychologically for women to be with guys who have options to be with other women. Women don't really want to be with guys that don't have any other option other than that woman. Now, it sounds counterintuitive. But yeah, there's an offshoot of psychology known as evolutionary psychology that goes into this and talks about it. And I've been talking about this for years. And so there's that element at work.
So we're back on the topic of that hypergamy also. The women being hypergamous, right? That's part of the evolution, right?
Yeah, hypergamy only simply means women want to deal with men. Women want to mate with men who are of higher status, more resources, more attractive, more sexual options, and so forth. That's what hypergamy.
No, it's deeper than that. I mean, Obsidian's right. That's the baseline definition, but it's deeper than that. Hypergamy means women are always looking to date and marry up. Keyword, always looking. So it never stops. A woman can get an attractive man, a man of means, and date him or even marry him, but she's still hypergamous. So she's always going to be looking for a better deal. And that's the state of affairs in America, family. And that's all women. That's not just black women. That's all races, I'll say. All races. Majority of them are acting on their hypergamy. This is why in Muslim societies, they mitigate women. They mitigate their behavior. They make them dress covered the fuck up, which is what they should be doing. Because if you don't mitigate women's behavior, you're going to have what we have in America, which is a fucking joke.
Yeah. But no, I understand that. So I'm tying it into what you said about the evolution. You're not going to choose the weakest man to be with. You're going to, in evolution, you're going to choose the man that is powerful or is desired by all the other women, right? I mean, that's what it equals to. So that makes sense, and I think that too. I mean, for me, I'm saying the broken part is the issue because that's unhealthy. To be honest, Obsidian, a woman coming to a channel, hearing a man say, "I'm not playing with you women anymore. Who do you think you are? I get beautiful women." That's what it translates to. When you hear men speaking on these topics, like when brothers like you and other brothers are speaking, like I don't take your mess. The phenomenon is that women are like, "Oh, I want to check this guy out." That's the phenomenon about women.
It ain't no phenomenon. That's their nature. It's a challenge to them. And again, a lot of women are just perpetual children. And they're operating in reverse. So anything you think logically will make sense for them to do or not do, or to not do, that's exactly what they're going to do. They're operating in reverse.
They're drawn to that. Now that's the part of a woman being, when I talk about hypergamy, a woman, if you're already looking for the best guy, the logic is that he's going to be the guy that has choices, like you said, right? Right?
Right.
So that's not the problem of women flocking to the manosphere saying, "I want a real man." Because innately, deep inside, I'm going to even challenge the strongest feminist. No woman wants a weak man. Nobody. What women want is a strong man, and this is the paradox, if you want to call it paradox, or they want a strong man that they can control. You understand?
Bingo.
right?
Right.
So when they go to these channels, they think,
which is delusion. And they keep trying to do the shit.
yeah, I like a man that's, not running behind me and, ooh, yeah, he told me I better get myself straight. Oh, he only gets quality women, so if he chooses me, I must be a quality woman. The problem is, when they get there, they allow themselves in a way to go through the ringer. You know how you said they can take a lot and they keep coming back? I used to follow GMS. Are you familiar with that group? They're Hebrew Israelite group.
Who are they now?
GMS.
Hello, Obsidian.
They are one of the most radical anti-woman groups out there. They will say, the black woman's a whore.
Wow.
Excuse me. Black woman's a whore. She's a conniving slut.
Wow.
She is the worst thing in the world.
Wow.
Don't be with a black woman. And so I was one of those broken tokens. I continued to come back and listen, and then I even got to a point where it's like, they're right. All black women are liars and haters and whores. So
that's interesting. I never heard of them, nor do I want to follow them, because just based on the fact that they're Hebrew Israelites just tells me everything I need to know. They're taking a book, the Bible, literally. So, that's a distortion of reality right there. But yeah, if you take the Bible literally and you read the Bible, there's no way you're not gonna quote unquote have a disdain for women. I mean, bro, shit. But Sister Napah said something very, very interesting. She said she followed this group. She became a broken token. And then at some point she was just like, damn, they're right. Now, what would make her say that, family? Because, see, you can't just follow or adopt an ideology and just off that alone, you're going to believe that that ideology is true. You have to, at the same time, be seeing and experiencing things in real time, in real life, for you to really be like, oh, damn, that shit's right. And I'm telling y'all, family, in America, 85% of our women, bro, are ran-throughs. They are unbelievably deceptive, meaning they're liars. They're sexually duplicitous. But they're moving so foul. So foul. 85% of them. They're moving so foul, bro. That, I mean, none of this is a surprise. The Manosphere, Itmore, SYSBM, Red Pill, none of this is a surprise. And I ain't started to realize this until I hit 30 years old. I'm 36 now. But when I hit 30 years old, I said, oh my God. But I mean, it was, I couldn't believe how they're moving so foul, bro. I'm talking about the foulest shit you can think of. A lot of our women are doing, bro. They got boyfriends, husbands. They got a side dude who may know the boyfriend or husband. They may have another dude. They'll get pregnant by another dude, put it on the main dude, lie about it. They might kill each other or go to jail. She won't take no accountability. She'll move on and do the shit again. Bro, they're moving so foul. It's insane.
Go ahead. How much do you speak? I said I've been talking a lot. Did you want to say something?
No, I'm listening to you with this GM.
And they think it's funny. They think that they are of value when they do that. That's why they call themselves real B-words. I'm a boss. Or any black woman who refers to herself as a B-word, she is a deceptive broad. She's not worth dating at all, bro. I'm telling you.
Can I say comment, though?
Yeah, it's a Hebrew Israelite group. So to be honest, the Bible was used. There's always some catch or some kind of novelty that's used. I mean, I'm not saying the Bible's a novelty, but you know, there's something like, what's your catch? Okay, they're a group that says, and God also says the black woman is the worst, or she's the reason we're in all of this, you know. So at first,
so my question, let me ask you this. So my question is, okay, if that's their position as black Hebrew Israelites, then how do you propose to build a strong nation, black Hebrew Israelite nation, with such individuals?
They don't.
Yeah.
Did they ever answer that? Did anybody ask them that question?
Oh yeah, brother. That's many sisters would ask them that, and they say, "Well, we don't even have to use the black woman to bring the nation back because Jesus is the Father. So we could use any woman. We could use a white woman. We could use an Asian woman."
Right. All right. Well, how about this? Okay. All right. I'll accept that, brother. So did they actually go out and get these other non-black women and build the Hebrew nation again? I'm just real curious.
Yeah, not only do they go get them, I'm saying a lot of the brothers, in defense of the brothers, even them, I'll tell the truth, that's what I mean in defense. Most of them have black wives, but there is a promotion, I repeat. The leader will say, whatever you do, don't get a black one. Go out there, get you a Latina, get you an Asian, get you anything besides black one. And so, yeah, they do go out and get different women, but not trying to just focus on that particular group. Really, what my point was, I'm speaking from a place of understanding and experience where it's like a thin line between self-hate and wanting to really be with a man or at least follow men who are men. And who realize we're not taking your crap anymore, women. So, you know what I'm saying? That's why what I'm talking about for the woman, it's a thin line between her just sitting there and just getting totally beat down, and her wanting to just get in line and follow correctly men who are powerful and men who do speak about male empowerment. You know, it's difficult, but I mean, for me, I look back and I go, no, I was being a broken token, and the statistics on cults, 70% of every cult is made up of women. And I mean, I could go further. I'm sure the church is the same way. They don't really consider the Christian church. So women are always looking for male approval. But a lot of women are going, let me ask you, excuse me, how does a woman balance? I mean, first let me ask you, do you think that there are groups out there that are in the manosphere that, you kind of touched on it, but be specific, do you think there are groups that just, at one point you're cringing like, oh God, did he just ask her how much she weighs? Because you do that stuff too, right? So, do you think that's going overboard when sisters are put into those positions? Or no?
Absolutely not. I mean, black women have to face the fact that, you know, as a group, I'm not saying every individual black woman, but as a group, black women have a serious weight problem. And the question at this juncture for me is, what about, see, to me, attempting to debate it really is silly because, you know, it's not really a debatable point. Black women have a problem with their weight, and the question becomes, what are they going to do about it? It's clear that black men have a problem with it at this point. So the question becomes, what are black women going to do about it?
When you say weight problem, let's go into that because I don't know if you remember, but I remember I was on a panel with you when you talked about Lizzo. Now, Lizzo is definitely obese.
For the record, I seen a couple pictures. Well, I seen a couple of pictures or whatever. Lizzo been vegan now for a couple of months now, family. So don't be surprised. I see Lizzo in a couple of months. And she be on IG model status. I'm just saying. Because Lizzo very pretty.
There's no maybe body, the body definition or a black woman is different than an Asian and a white woman. We can all say, okay, as beautiful as Lizzo is to me in the face,
Very pretty.
and as confident as she is, and as much of a woman as she is, she's obese. This is the conversation you and I had. But let's get away from a Lizzo. Let's use a woman that, hear me out, this might sound ridiculous. Let's use Serena Williams.
Huh?
Let's use Serena Williams.
How?
And let's take Serena Williams and someone would weigh her, or some people would even see her if she wasn't Serena Williams, and they'd be like, oh my gosh, her body, she needs no.
No, sister. No. You're talking about white men or something. There's nobody, there's no one black, no man black will ever consider Serena Williams overweight. No.
That's too much. Like, she doesn't look like a woman. Maybe they wouldn't say overweight because, she's stone rock hard, brick house, but she definitely is not in any way, shape, or form
She ain't petite.
what people would consider the ideal female weight. Now, again, I'm being super extreme because I'm making a point about Serena. Now, I'm taking the total extreme of Lizzo, who's a more obese, and then I'm taking it back to the other side where Serena Williams is obviously stacked, but she's definitely not the ideal female weight. See, if someone weighed Serena Williams, okay, they say, oh, and they didn't take her, her body mass index. They just weighed her, and they're like, okay, we don't know her fat percentage.
She might be like 170.
She's this tall and she weighs this much. Oop, she's on the side of being overweight and obese. Like, really, right? And
But the problem with that is black men in the black manosphere don't regard Serena Williams as fat.
Right, nobody does.
So
no, I know. That's what I'm saying. She's not fat, but I get it, brother. What I'm trying to get at, and I'm going to hand it over to you so you speak.
It sounds like the sister's trying to get Obsidian to give her a catch weight or an ideal weight amongst black men. I'm going to tell y'all what it is right now. And of course, this is not all black men. But I can guarantee you, if you poll 50 black men, I bet you money that what I'm about to say, as far as the catch weight or the ideal weight, 90% of them, you poll 50 men, 40 of them are going to be in agreement with what I'm about to tell you. Alright, here's the catch weight, the ideal weight, the ideal size proportion for majority of black men. And I'm saying this is the ideal. Of course, all women, just like all men, are not going to be the same size, height, shape. I'm just telling you what the ideal is. Okay? The ideal is between 5'4" and 5'6", and between 135 to 145 pounds. That's the ideal. Catch weight, catch size, catch height. No question.
We can kick it around. I'm saying, do you see that possible? Now, I am the number one paranoid person. Like, even me right now, I'm like, I'm about to lose 10 pounds. But I'm not overweight. Like, people see me and like, oh my God, you're crazy. Don't lose that weight. But for me, so I'm not the one to try to excuse obesity. If a sister is overweight though, and she loves herself, and she's looking beautiful, I would never tell a sister, unless she comes for me. If she's coming for me and trying to put me down, I'd be like, you better take a look in the mirror. But I'm saying, if a sister's just minding her business, she's so-called, we can talk about thick, because thick is when thick is going up, thick is just lost it. Thick is just like a monster that's out of control now. But anyway, I digress. What I'm saying is, do you think that we might have to tweak the standards of overweight? Like, do you think that it's quite possible that the physique of the black woman cannot be, I know this is about science, it's not only about sociology or study of people, but do you think that possibly there might need to be a little revision in what is considered obese and what is considered not obese? Is it, would you say, did you know the story of Sarah Bartman, right? Sarah Bartman.
Right.
Was to you, was Sarah Bartman obese?
Well, I haven't seen like actual pictures of her. I only seen like representation, drawings and whatnot. But yeah, I would say that she was, carrying too much weight on. Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, so
Now we don't even have to do this arena anymore. So see, that's the issue.
She had a huge body, no doubt. But I mean, yeah. But as far as like whether or not she was carrying too much weight, that's yeah.
Have you ever seen the sister called oh my gosh, I forgot her name. She's African. Oh, Roman Goddess.
Roman
I don't know who that is.
She has she's like a J cup.
A J cup?
I mean, probably like a Z cup. I mean, she's very, very busty.
Okay, well that's just.
She has probably.
I mean, that's just ridiculous.
In 26-inch waist.
A 26-inch waist?
And then she got like 52 hips. 52
yeah, that sort of thing is, I mean, no doubt it's a lot of fun, but in terms of like serious.
Oh yeah, I see it. This don't even look real. This don't even look real. That looks disgusting.
Maybe and that sort of thing.
Okay, so that's considered obese to you.
Yeah.
All right, well.
Well, here's the thing. That's something that's not naturally occurring.
Well.
Yeah, that's.
As a general rule, it's not naturally occurring. It's the exception to the rule, and not the norm. That's why that's more likely one of the night.
Okay. Well, we're talking about Sarah Bartman too. I think that we know Sarah Bartman was the same. She had a small weight. I'm not making excuses for obesity. Again, Obsidian, I'm just trying to get to a point where, when do sisters get, do they have to be? Okay, let me scratch that and rewind. When I was in my teens and 20s, I could go and I could do high fashion. I was about 107 pounds to the most I weighed was about 115, and I'm 5'9". I was very...
That's skinny. She needs some weight.
Underweight. But with high fashion, that was seen as the...
High fashion is gay men, gay white men, majority of them, who want to see women walk around looking like boys. That's what the fuck high fashion.
The ideal weight. I always was
that shit is
struggling to stay that way. Now, once I said, you know what, I'm done with that, I had my child, I said, okay, I'm in the 120s and 130s. I was overweight for high fashion. I could only do commercial modeling. I'm getting to I'm making a point here. Would you say that standards are set with the manosphere, with black men in the manosphere? The standards are set there, and they're not really realistic outside of that. Would you say that?
No.
About the modeling.
Yeah, there's no surveys or anything like that I'm aware of. So I wouldn't be able to answer the question.
Well, what do you think about that? Do you think that everyone maybe isn't set, the men aren't settling, and maybe it's just men are fed up with women getting away with being called beautiful when they clearly are by your standards, not beautiful? Is that the issue? What I'm trying to say is, like, is it just something within your groups, or do you really think men are like, I really love her body, like,
Yeah.
I like the Roman goddess body? Because even for me, I was
Nobody
told
likes
when I was 140 pounds by my now at the time husband, you know, kind of like not in a mean way, but little things like, wow, yeah, you're not really thick. Well, you know, you're skinnier. I love it though. Like, when a man tells you you're skinny, but I love you anyway, that's like, what? And so I was like, I gotta gain some weight. I don't want to be 140 pounds or 5'9". I want to be 160 pounds. So what I'm trying to say is, don't you think that possibly women, and I'm not being, you're so quiet. I just want you to be yourself. Like, don't you think possibly that might just be something that's going on as far as the manosphere where you're being radical, like, and I'm tired of these fat women like Lizzo, so I don't care. All of you, big hips, no. Get down to 145 pounds if you're 5'9". Period. I don't care what your body shape is. I don't care about, you know, this, that. Do you think that it's just maybe like a radical back, like you're fighting back against all the times when you see women who are obese being told, girl, you're fine, you can get anybody? You know what I'm saying? Or did I say a lot? Sorry.
Yeah, there's a I think that the main consensus in the black manosphere is toward the Lizzo end of the spectrum. I think that's where, I mean, trying to parse it out and find, well, what about this type, what about that type? I mean, it's pretty much what Power Stewart said, you know, we know what we're here. And it's mainly toward the Lizzo end.
Right. Who did you say said something?
Pardon?
You said a name.
No, I said it's like what Power Stewart said, you know, we know it when we see it.
Who is that?
So he was a former Supreme Court justice. But,
I'm not like,
yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, beautiful women don't know.
wow, y'all. Okay, hold on. Let's talk about that. Don't you think there's okay, let me say this. Because don't you think that that's a bit, not just with you, because this is another thing about the manosphere. You want to get things straight between men and women. But I hear a lot of brothers in the manosphere say, well, the way we straighten this out is, number one, let's look at our priorities with women. What's the priority? And then you go straight to the looks. You don't say, well, I need her to have a very conversation.
I can tell you why that is. That's easy.
Say it.
Yeah, because it's very difficult to find a highly intelligent, hot woman. That's extreme. And I'm not saying it's impossible, just very difficult. That's a rare occurring thing.
Very.
Usually what you end up getting is that she's really intelligent. There's a reason why she's hitting books.
That's real. That's real. I'm sorry. That's real. And that's just not with black men. That's all races. That's all. I talk to all races of men, and they've all said the same thing. And I'm pretty sure Obsidian is going to describe why that is. But I mean, it's really just conversation. Honestly, family, it's just like this. Look, the more attractive a woman is, there's less of an. There's less. I would say there's less of an incentive. There is less of a push for her to be very intelligent, educated. You know, I mean, she can be intelligent, but a lot of very attractive women where they don't really have to do anything. I mean, honestly. So they don't have to do anything but sit around and be attractive and, you know, pleasure their man or pleasure whatever man they with. A lot of them are just pleasuring a bunch of men. But anyway, regardless of that, that's pretty much the reason why. When women are very intelligent, extremely educated, very well read, I mean, they usually, a lot of times they're in a situation where they gotta do that. And I'm just being honest.
on Saturday night instead of going out. There's a reason for it. And, conversely, the really hot chicks, there's a reason why they don't need to hit the club. So,
Exactly, you don't have to.
It's hard to find, and, you can make the case that guys don't prioritize intelligent punching women. That would be largely true. I mean, as long as she's just not a straight up dunce. She doesn't need to be a road stop. But she does need to be good to look at.
Wow.
She has to be. I mean, for most men, that's our main criteria. It's how a woman looks. And I'm not gonna be specific, but I'll just say this. Always dated attractive women. None of them were dumb. None of them were dumb. None of them were like airheads. You know what I'm saying? But none of them were none of them were on my level, I'll say that. As far as intimate.
I mean, isn't there a point where a man is like, I want some intellectual stimulation from my woman?
The mental stimulation. I don't want to get that. But yeah.
What tends to happen though, family, is if you get an attractive woman and she stays with you long enough, she's going to adopt your ideology. She's going to adopt how you behave, so she's going to want to get smarter. Like a lot of women when I was in relationships, the women will actually start to research and try to read some of the books that I will read as far as subject matter, just to get on my level, so to speak.
I know this is something that a number of ladies don't like to hear, but it's true. Looks matter a whole lot to guys. And everything else kind of follows that.
Exactly.
You say that, but then I'm gonna go ahead and say this. And these are to my sisters out there who are doing everything right, and I see all of them in the chat. Shout out to all my sisters in the chat. I can't even name you all up, but I love you, I see you. But these sisters in the chat, and then other sisters who aren't even in the chat, they're just listening. Let's talk about this. Just like brothers might be seeing the hot girl, the hot sister, the hot woman with a complete bomb, maybe, and brothers are like, why is she choosing him? Sometimes we as sisters will see brothers with women who don't treat them right and who are not, how do I say? Well, let me just keep it real. It's not about weight. You'll just be looking at her going, oh my God. She doesn't even brush her teeth, or, damn, she's got like lint and she has an old raggedy weave on, and why is he so in love with her? Why is he treating her so well? And why is he letting her treat him like the garbage when she's not even looking decent? And, I keep myself clean, I take care of myself, I work out. What is she doing? So it's not just, you say men want looks, but I see a lot of sisters out there, and even I see a lot of black men with women who aren't sisters, like with the Beckys. And the Becky will look like 400 pounds, and she'll be just, gross.
Huh?
And she's got like these ashy, cracked heels on her feet. Her heels, like she just looks bad. But you'll have a decent looking brother with her.
But I've seen a whole lot of decent looking brothers with bust down black chicks too.
Yeah, no, I
black women don't have a problem with that.
No, I just said that right now. I agree. No, there are sisters who do have a problem with that. They see that and they go, wait a minute, what? Why does he want to be with her? So my point that I'm making is because you said looks matter a whole lot to men. Not all men, because I've been seeing some brothers out there with some women who.
Well,
I think Obsidian is going to touch on this, but what the sisters not factoring in is the economic situation that a lot of brothers are in. A lot of brothers are not where we want to be or where we should be economically, and that's because of white supremacy. So sometimes, a lot of times, unfortunately, you'll see brothers dating women or with women that they wouldn't be with if they had some money, and that's just real. You know, that's just real.
But for men that are broke, they gotta, make
Yeah,
That's messed up.
family, I never seen this. We watching this, we listening to this together, watching this together. I didn't know he was gonna say that. That's just real.
Now, all these brothers are broke.
Most of them.
Show me the loaded guy that's with the kind of, honey boo boo white woman you're talking about.
Not
I've
right.
seen brothers choose down.
Show me the brother that is successful. You know they're successful. We all know they're successful. Is that with honey boo boo?
Well, let's not start talking about successful because now we're moving into like the cream of the crop. Let's just say, hey, it's tough out here for sisters. I'm going to speak and say this clearly. Some people. Okay, no. I know you on their fat face, brother. I can't really hate on you about that. But let's just stick with this, okay?
Okay.
Every brother that's with a woman who is a honey boo boo mom, or every brother who's with a sister who just looks like she's been, I don't know, having a rough life and doesn't care about herself. Now, see, that's the thing I'm trying to point out, sisters. I'm not saying you have to be a beauty queen. But when you see a sister who doesn't take care of herself, I'm talking about black women to black women. When you see a brother with a sister like, God, why does she look so nasty? Or, damn, doesn't she know those braids need to come down? She looks like she's had them in for 4 months. Like, when you see a brother with women like that, or whatever, we've all done it as women. If you have been a single woman and you are available, and every woman, let me not say every woman, most women want to be mated up, and most men want to mate up. Well, maybe not now,
No, we don't.
Most women want to mate up. So if you're single and you're doing everything right, staying in the gym, you've got your own this and that, and then you see men with women who you feel like, why is he with her? She's clearly not attractive, and she's clearly not good to him. What I'm trying to say is, Obsidian, I don't see every brother choosing looks first. I don't.
All right, so let me ask you questions in response. So if all brothers ain't choosing a sister based on looks, then why does it matter what the black manosphere has to say about it? Number one. And number two, okay, let's assume that these guys are out here doing the Cynthia King, who they really choose. Okay.
Oh my God.
What did I say?
Obsidian just threw a shot, yeah. Oh my God. And look at the pause. Oh my goodness, here we go. This how this internet beef shit get started right here.
Doing the Cynthia G, who they really choose. Okay. Why?
With that, who they really choose. She has like a series on that?
Right.
Yeah, she does.
So why are black women concerning themselves with black men who truly are getting with women that are no accounts? I'm trying to understand why they care so much.
Because the manosphere, like I said, I'm being honest, it vibrates, and I like to say vibrate because I'm into, metaphysical things. It vibrates an energy of, no, just being really very pure-minded right now. It has an energy of male power, male power, male power, but not just male power. He doesn't need me. We are very strange, complex creatures. Women want a man to want her and need her when they're in relationships. But when she's pursuing, and I don't even want to say pursue, because women, for me, we really don't pursue. When we make ourselves available in creative ways.
Are you kidding me? Women? Women do pursue men.
Right.
Get a book called The Mating Mind.
Okay, I will. What?
No.
Mate, fine.
Women compete against other women for mates.
Yes.
And women pursue men for now they pursue them differently than the way men pursue women. It's a different type of pursuit. But you're kidding me.
It's not
you're gonna sit there and tell me that women don't pursue men. No, women do pursue.
Yeah, no, let me clarify myself. Women do pursue men, but I'm talking about the natural woman in her own element who hasn't been set on a dysfunctional path.
Yes, that's what I'm talking. That's why I mentioned the book, The Mating Mind by Jeffrey Miller. In the ancestral environment, women pursue men. You see this in the Bible, since you're a Hebrew Israelite. You know about this. You know about the story of Delilah. You know the story about Salome. You know the story about and definitely Bathsheba. I mean, come on.
I'm glad you brought up Bathsheba, and I would also like to point out the story of Ruth. Ruth is really a great story to make my example. Now, that can be interpreted as pursuing to you, because she did go and she dressed herself up and she was told by Naomi, go there, get on at his feet, make yourself. So that's what I'm saying. That could be seen as pursuit, but for me, what I see is she's setting herself up for to be noticed and to be available. So, I mean, maybe I'm saying there's not pursuit, tomato. But I forgot what my point was. Women, about the manosphere. The reason women care what's said in there, and men, is number one, it's controversial. And then as far as women being attracted to it and the men in the manosphere, because they see male power, they see the black man saying, I have choices, and women are drawn to that. That's the phenomenon. Women are drawn to men that say, I don't really need you. I have choices, and my choices are quality. So women are drawn to that. And whether we say they pursue it or they make themselves available, they're drawn to that. When they get there, however, if it's toxic, if men are telling them, you women are all the same,
a wall. Yeah, the manosphere don't really say that. Not too many individuals say that. I'm gonna do part two in a few, family. To the next.